Hey guys, it's Sebastian from AskSebby, and today we are going to look at some strategies for upgrading and downgrading Hilton cards from American Express in order to maximize the value. Before we dive in, a big favor is to give this a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's a very easy way to support the channel. So now that you have done that, now you've liked the video, the reason we're talking about this is because I ended up getting about 3 questions in the last 24 hours about this over on Instagram. Side note, follow our Instagram, AskSebby. For the most part, this is going to be more of an advanced topic video, and it leans more towards people who are in the mid game or the late game. So once you're done with Chase, once you're done with Capital One, Barclays, and all those other players in the middle, then this is going to be the video for you. And ideally, you already applied for the American Express Platinum card for the 100K offer first before looking into this. If all of that sounded very stupid and you don't care about any of that, then you probably won't like this video as well, because it's kind of the same idea. We're looking to maximize our outcome based off a bunch of constraints. So the big first question is, why should you care about this, and why does anyone care about this? The main reason is because Hilton points provide a lot of value if you are looking to do an aspirational trip to places like the Maldives and Bora Bora, given the value of the points. The second part of it is the weekend certificate night ends up providing a ton of value if you care about those places, given how the card works. I've talked about this card a lot in the past before. It was my favorite card of 2019, or one of them, and it's also one card that I talk about as a super level card that provides outsized value. The main takeaway, the long short of it, is that you're paying $450, you're getting about $500 in credits for Hilton Resorts, $250 over there, and $250 as an airline incidental credit. And you also get diamond status, as well as that weekend night that works at those very expensive places like the Maldives. So that is why you should care about this. And in this video, we'll talk about the constraints and how you want to basically optimize this. We'll talk about this from the use case of someone looking to do a honeymoon right away, which seems to be the main use case, and also for students who might want to do something down the line, or they just want to accrue points. And then we'll also talk about some edge cases that are going to be important if American Express does decide to change how the rules work and how this process works. So the main constraints that we have with this is that with American Express cards, you're eligible for a bonus once in a lifetime. This is per the terms and conditions. This can obviously change in the future, and we might see something where they decide that it's only really 7 years, but per the terms, and this is what I'm going by, it's once in a lifetime. The main thing to be careful with here is that it's based off not whether you got the bonus, but whether you have the card or whether you have had the card in the past. Imagine if this was a card, the fact that I even had it just for 1 day, even if I didn't activate it, would mean that I had it at some points. This is also if you had it as a primary user, so if your mom adds you as an authorized user, then that's not going to factor in. So that's the first constraint. The second constraint is going to be related to the upgrades. With the upgrades, either American Express or Hilton doesn't seem to care that you have that higher level card. So even if you have the basic card and that middle level card, they don't seem to care about giving you an upgrade offer to a second one of that middle level card. This can obviously change in the future, and we'll talk about that towards the end for edge cases. Number 3 is that for those upgrade offers, there's typically a spend component. So you upgrade that card, you spend $3,000 or $4,000 to get the points, but you cannot cancel or downgrade that card for 12 months after upgrading. If you do, then they have the right to blacklist you. They have the right to give you the bonus pop-up where you try to apply for future cards and there's a pop-up that says you're not eligible for future bonuses, or they have the right to claw back the points. Generally speaking, I would not advise risking it because you're facing an algorithm, and I feel like that's asking for trouble. So those are going to be the 3 constraints, and here we also have 3 cards that we're playing with: the no annual fee one, the Aspire card, as well as the Surpass card in the middle. The main draw of the Surpass card is that you have a weekend certificate night after spending $15,000 on the card within a calendar year. The main draw of the no annual fee card is that it has no annual fee and pretty good intro bonus for what it is. It really also sets up your upgrades very advantageously if you decide to go down that path. For the Aspire card, I've talked about this a lot, but you're paying a $450 annual fee, you get a bunch of credits that really help you offset it, and you also get diamond status, and you get a weekend certificate night as well just by having the card. For a lot of people out there, they might be willing to pay $450 just for that night alone. So setting up the stage, the reason this matters is because you can upgrade advantageously in order to take advantage of both upgrades and intro bonuses. Running a very simple example, if you go down path number 1, so this is timeline number 1, you can apply for that basic card, then you can apply for the Surpass card, that's 2 intro bonuses, and then in 1 year's time, you can upgrade that basic card into a Surpass card. This means that you're getting 2 intro bonuses and 1 upgrade offer. Timeline number 2 is you apply for the basic card and then you upgrade it to the Surpass card, which ends up meaning that you're just getting 2 offers, which is fine, but it's not really as good and you're leaving money on the table. The main takeaway is that it doesn't matter when you apply for the cards. The most important bit is that you do not upgrade to a card where you have not gotten an intro bonus yet. One constraint that we didn't talk about, so number 4, is that you are not eligible for an upgrade until having the card for at least 12 months. The reason for this is something called the Card Act, which is meant to protect consumers from having their annual fees and interest and stuff like that increased in the first year. If all of that made a lot of sense for you and you're about to rush off to learn more about these cards, a very easy way to support the channel would be using the links that are on our website, AskSebby.com, as well as down below in the description box. As always, make sure the offers are competitive for you, but otherwise it really does support the channel. So those are all the constraints, and I think some smart people will already know what to do there. For the most part, you would want to apply for all 3 of these cards within 1 year just to get all 3 intro bonuses, and then in 1 year's time, wait for the upgrade offers for the middle card, so the Surpass card, as well as the no annual fee card. If you run it like this, then you're going to be able to get 3 intro bonuses and 3 upgrade bonuses. Theoretically, you can actually play it a bit more aggressively and end up getting 3 intro bonuses and then 6 upgrade bonuses, but we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. It is a bit of an edge case, and I feel like most normal people wouldn't do this. So if we compare this upgrading strategy with someone who ends up just getting 1 card and then upgrading it through, then that normal person only ends up getting 1 intro bonus and 2 upgrade offers. If you're someone looking to do a big trip, then you're going to need those points, and leaving some on the table is just very non-optimal. If you are someone getting married, then there is going to be a use case for getting the Surpass card first due to that $15,000 weekend certificates. Obviously, it depends on if you want to get a lot of other cards and use that spend towards hitting other intro bonuses, but for people who don't want too many, then this is an option. Probably do that one first in order to put the spend on it, and then get the Aspire card soon afterwards just to give it time to get that other certificate night that you get from just having the Aspire card. In my experience, it ends up taking about 6 to 8 weeks to get that certificates from the Aspire card. So that's if you're someone who is getting married right away and you're looking to go on a honeymoon very soon in the next 6 to 12 months or so. If you are someone playing that long game where the upgrades end up coming into play, then any order is fine. You probably would want to avoid the Aspire card unless you're using it though, just because it can be very expensive. Actually, let's run through a use case of a student because it ties into this pretty well. If I was a student right now, I'd probably go for the normal cards first, so either the Surpass and the no annual fee one, just because when I was a student at least, I wouldn't have wanted to pay $450 out of pocket, even if I was getting a bunch of rewards because I wasn't really traveling and I didn't make as much. If you're in your last year of college anyways, you might as well start racking up those points and starting the clock for the upgrades. That way, when you do have that job, when you are looking to travel, then you have those potential options there, but you're not paying a lot out of pockets. So Surpass and no annual fee now, and then in 12 months, you add the Aspire card before taking those upgrade offers. I could probably force a bunch more examples, but the main takeaway is if you are someone that does not need diamond status right away, then I'd probably go for those other cards first that are not the Aspire card due to the annual fees and the fact that you're starting the clock for those upgrades a lot sooner. If you haven't liked the video yet, give it a thumbs up because I'm losing my voice and hopefully this is helpful. With that said, let's talk about the 2 main edge cases. The first one is going to be if American Express decides that they do not want to give you upgrade offers if you currently have that card. So if you have no annual fee and the Surpass, they decide not to give you an upgrade offer to that Surpass due to the fact that you already have it. My guess is that this is going to be unlikely because it looks like Hilton is the one offering these upgrades rather than American Express proper, and it looks like Hilton is looking to expand rather than cut costs. Even if they decide to do that though, then technically what you can do is to downgrade both of those cards, so technically downgrade the Surpass card into a secondary no annual fee card and then wait for the upgrade offers then. The rationale there is that by not having the Surpass, then it triggers the upgrade offers, and then by having those 2 cards, all you really need to do is to open it in 2 different places and have the upgrade offers, the buttons, ready to click. So for example, let's say you have it on your phone as well as on your computer, and then you have both logins logged in, you're ready to click for that upgrade, you clicked that you read all the terms, and then at the same time, you upgrade. Generally speaking, even if you just have that page open, then the upgrade offer is still going to work and it's not really immediate. So it works based off what we've seen. So that's going to be edge case number one, which I think is a relatively solved problem. They could go on the back end and decide that they don't want to allow this, but that hasn't really been the case. Once you agree to everything, once you click that upgrade offer, it's pretty similar to an application, and there's a lot of things in this space that restrict them from not giving you a bonus unless you did something wrong. And technically, based off the terms and conditions, you're not doing anything wrong. As long as you take that upgrade offer and you don't downgrade or cancel the card within 12 months of that upgrade taking that offer, then you're in a good spot. Edge case number two is going to be, if you really want to play this very aggressively, you could technically get all three of these cards, downgrade all of them into the no annual fee card after the first year, just because you can't downgrade those cards, the Surpass and the Aspire, within the first year because that'll trigger a clawback or blacklisting or anything else and not eligible for future upgrades if you do downgrade within the first year. So don't downgrade within the first year. But theoretically in year two, you could downgrade all of them to that no annual fee card and then subsequently do one wave of upgrades to the Surpass and then do a secondary wave of upgrades to the Aspire card in order to get 3 Aspire cards. So 3 cards, upgrade number 1, that's 3 upgrade offers, and then upgrade number 2 is another 3 upgrade offers, so 6 upgrade offers within 1 year. Given that we've seen most of these offers in the 150,000 point Hilton point range, then that's pretty good. That is going to be 900,000 points. The reason this works is because based off the terms, you can't cancel or you can't downgrade after taking an upgrade, but there's nothing in there that says you can't take a secondary upgrade. The reason why this probably isn't going to work for most people is because there is going to be a very high minimum spend with these upgrades in order to get the bonus. For the most part, I think we've seen these upgrade offers being $3,000 or $4,000 minimum spend within 3 months, and a lot of people, if you have 3 of these cards, you aren't going to be able to run $9,000 to $12,000 in that short amount of time. So playing it by the terms, this only really works if you are someone who's a student, who has very big tuition payments, who can split it up, or if you have very high natural expenses, or maybe you have a renovation or something else coming up where you have a very high spend. That's the reason why I'm putting it as an edge case rather than the core use case that everyone should follow, just because I don't really think it's that feasible. Even then, the main use case that we're talking about of having 3 Aspire cards probably isn't going to be that feasible for most people unless you're someone who travels a lot, who can actually use the certificate nights as well as the travel incidental credits and the hotel resort credits. On that note, if you are someone who wants to learn more about these cards and you want to support our channel, a very easy way to do that would be to use the links that are on our website, AskSebby.com, as well as down below in the description box. Big reminder that we are playing by the terms. I'm pretty much following them to the T, but we're looking at them as constraints and then looking to maximize them based off the constraints. It's pretty much an optimization or engineering problem. You're looking to maximize your outcome given these parameters. My question for you guys is, if you had a bunch of Hilton points, where would you end up staying? Let me and the community know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you know anyone else who'd benefit from this, share this with them. It'll probably help them out, but otherwise, hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time.